Okay? Yeah, I gotta go. My show's starting soon. Okay, I'll see you later. Alright. Good morning. Welcome to the Sarah Show. Today, we're going to be talking about a really serious subject, reputation. With social media on the rise, all that kids are worried about today is their reputation. So we're going to have some well-known stars come and talk about what happened to them and their reputation. And so today, we're going to start our show off with our first guest, Lindsay Lohan. Give it up! Oh, hey, Lindsay.
Hi, Nick. Love your work.
Thank you. Love your work.
Thanks for having me.
So, Lindsay, I feel like we have a lot to talk about, especially reputation-wise. Honey, you had such a great career. I mean, Mean Girls, The Parent Trap, it doesn't get any better than that. What happened?
Mean Girls was very fun for me. I love playing the Mean Girl, and I've actually played that character a lot. The Parent Trap was very fun because, playing yourself twice is kind of interesting. No one really knows how they do that.
I know. That fooled me, all right. Okay. So you were doing so great. So many people looked up to you around the country. You had such a great career coming for you. So do you think that you would have been in acting if it wasn't for your relatives or your parents?
I enjoy it very much, but my mom and my dad were a big part of me going into acting. My mom was very, very big on movies and stuff, and she claims that she was a Rockette, but there's actually no evidence that she was, but I could believe it.
Do you think that a lot of the pressure from the media and your family caused you to lose hold of your career and turn to drug use?
Yeah, both my parents went to rehab, so I guess I couldn't handle the stress really, and kind of went overboard. Can't really get away from it though. It's I just keep relapsing.
Do you think you're gonna start up your acting career again after?
I'm trying to.
Rehab, has it helped you?
Slightly. Most of my movie producers have given me second chances, allowed me to come back to the movies. Sometimes I've been replaced, which isn't always good, but even through rehab I've been trying to film, except recently most of the movies that I've been creating have been not so successful as they used to be.
Now, you know what the word of the day is, reputation. How do you think that this changed your reputation, the drug use? Do you think that it made people see you differently?
I definitely think so, because my movies were way more successful and people saw me as going to be a really successful actress, but now I've fallen off the edge and I'm not producing as good as movies as I used to, and now my career's kind of going backwards instead of forwards.
Alright, well, it was great to have you here, Lindsay. Everyone, round of applause. Best of luck in your acting career. Oh, bye, honey.
Bye!
Bye! Oh, okay. Alright, our next guest is ex-lieutenant of Othello, Michael Cassio from Venice. Come on out, Cassio. Oh, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Glad to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. As I'm aware, and as I've heard, the other night you had a little run-in with Rodrigo.
This is true.
I know that this is what made Othello revoke your lieutenancy, and I understand that you're really hurt and that you really think that this changed your reputation. So I just want to talk to you about this, and I want to hear your opinion.
Alright.
What happened that night? Why did it all start?
We were just all out, we were having a good time, and I really didn't want to drink, but just the times everyone else was doing it, and I figured, why not?
So, you think it was kind of like peer pressure?
I do. I mean, I tried to say no, but Iago kept tempting me, and I just saw everyone else drinking, and everyone was having a good time, so I figured I'm not gonna just be the only one not drinking.
And that's what made you lose your reputation?
Yeah, I mean, when I drink, I just lose control. I just don't really know what's going on, and then it just makes me make bad decisions.
And you knew your limits, and you didn't want to push them, right?
I know, I had already drank that night a little bit, and I knew if I had any more, things would get out of control, and I wouldn't be able to handle myself properly.
So I think this is a good message that you can kind of spread to the youth about,
certainly.
I mean, this is what happens. If someone's peer pressuring you, you know that there are going to be repercussions. You know that it's just not going to turn out well. And that's how Cassio lost his reputation.
I knew that I shouldn't have drank more, and I just let people get to me. I just knew I shouldn't have done it, and if knew things would have been gone wrong, and they did.
Yeah. Do you think that you let down Othello and everyone who believed in you after that night?
I do. I mean, Othello trusted me as his lieutenant, and I have to handle myself properly, and I didn't do that, and I certainly let him down, and I ruined my reputation now. The one thing that was most important to me, it's the thing that precedes me when I go into a room, and it's the only thing people remember me when I die with is my reputation, and I messed it up. I ruined it.
Thank you, Cassio. I really hope that everyone can take a message from this interview, and I really hope for Michael Cassio's sake that he gets back his good reputation and learns to not let go of himself from these mistakes, but grow and just rebuild his strength. Thank you, Cassio. It was a pleasure. Up next, we have an interview with Lance Armstrong. But before that, we're going to have a quick break for a commercial from our sponsors.
Board folks, just go ahead and take any empty seat that you see.
I hope it's not contagious. So I do have it. Ooh. When your mom wakes up, can you tell her about me?
Now I'd like to welcome Lance Armstrong for his interview. Lance, come on out! Oh, it's great to meet you. Alright, so you know what the theme of the day is, reputation. And
real quick, before you start, I have a training session in like an hour, so this has to be pretty quick.
Thank you, Lance, for that. This will be quick. As I understand, you were caught taking steroids. Why did you decide to do that when you had such a great following? You just had so much ahead of you.
Well, everyone else is doing it, you know? You gotta do something to get ahead.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, looking back on it, you know, it was definitely the wrong decision, but when I made the decision to start taking steroids, and at the time it just seemed like the right thing to do.
And obviously, everyone was really shocked when they heard that news. I mean, did you ever anticipate that it was gonna be released? Were you gonna try to hide that?
It got to a point where, you know, I knew it was gonna come out, but, you know, I still just kept trying to hide it. You know, I stood for so much. You know, all my Tour de France wins, my Live Strong Foundation, everything I stood for was just, you know, perfection and honor. So I tried to keep it hidden as long as possible.
Is there anything that you think people can take out of hearing this? Would you have changed what you did if you could? Do you think you would have been as successful if you hadn't taken steroids?
I don't think it's the success that matters. I think it's your reputation that matters. You know, all those Tour de France wins don't matter anymore. They've all been stripped. all the medals I've won, all the championships, they don't matter. They're meaningless. My Livestrong Foundation just means nothing to me anymore because it's false and it's behind what people think is a liar. So, yeah, I wouldn't have done steroids if I'd known what was going to happen.
I mean, look at those legs. Those aren't natural legs. Lance, do you want to show us your legs?
No, I'm shameful.
Are those steroid legs?
Yes.
Now, I really, dug into the truth here. Gosh, it's getting emotional.
I can't see it under these glasses, but I'm crying.
I can hear it.
Don't do steroids. Don't do steroids.
Thanks for coming out and watching the show tonight. Happy Halloween, and remember, whatever you do tonight,